Good morning, Lions fans, and welcome to the first episode of What You Missed in Sports of 2017. I'm Matt Dionne.
And I'm Alex Colle.
So, Alex, how was your break?
It was good, Matt. I fell in love, actually.
You did?
I did. With the cheeseburger volcano I made.
Ah, I see. You know, Alex, I was in love once.
Were you? What was her name?
I don't remember.
Okay, that's not a good start, but keep going.
She went to OCAD, or UOIT. I don't know, something weird. We met at a party and made out for hours. Then we parted ways, never to see each other again.
I'm pretty sure that's not love, Matt.
Damn it. The men's and women's basketball teams had games this past Friday.
Despite the fact that it was Friday the 13th, the men didn't suffer from any bad luck, as they were able to beat crosstown rival U of T by a score of 79-68.
Unfortunately, the women couldn't escape the curse, as they fell to the Varsity Blues 78-48.
On Saturday, both teams were back in action, taking on Ryerson.
The women were unable to get out of their slump, as they dropped their game by a score of 64-51.
The men were unable to carry over the momentum from Friday's win, as they also lost their game by a score of 69-52.
The men's and women's volleyball teams had a pair of games each this weekend.
On Saturday, they were taking on Ryerson. Both matches were tightly contested and needed a full 5 sets.
Unfortunately for both teams, Ryerson came out on top 3-2.
On Sunday, the Lions and Lionesses were looking to rebound against the lowly Trent Excalibur.
Excalibur. That's a dumb name.
I know, right, Matt?
Both teams feasted on Trent, winning in straight sets, as Trent never came close to threatening either team.
The men's and women's hockey teams had 3 games between the two of them.
Despite the fact the Lionesses outshot them in every period, it was U of T who came away with the victory in Friday's game.
The men's game was eerily similar, as the men heavily outshot the Lancers, but they were unable to find the back of the net, as Windsor would go on to win the game 1-0.
The women were looking to bounce back on Sunday when they were taking on UOIT.
This game wasn't even close, as the Lionesses quickly jumped out to a 3-1 lead that they would ride all the way to a 6-2 victory.
With the win, the women kept their playoff hopes alive, at least for another week.
The men's and women's basketball teams will be back in action today, when they'll be taking on McMaster in Hamilton, starting at 6 and 8.
Then, tomorrow, both teams will be in St. Catharines taking on the Brock Badgers. Tip-off is at 6 and 8 as well.
The men's and women's hockey teams will be returning home this weekend.
Today, the men will be hosting Queens at Canlin at 7 p.m.
Then, tomorrow, the Lionesses will be hosting Windsor at 2.
Finally, the women will close out the weekend on Sunday when they'll be hosting the Western Mustangs at Canlin. Puck drops at 2 p.m. as well.
What do I do?
What?
I mean, it's my turn to speak, but you usually get mad at me when I try to close out the show.
What? I don't do that.
Alright, that's
That's all for this week, Lions fans. Tune in next week for more sports news and updates.